The dropship hummed as it approached the landing zone. The squad sat in their harnesses, running final equipment checks. Corporal Riley Stone was the only human in Strike Team Vortex. "Check your weapon again, human," chittered Kathax, the mantis-like Vrel whose compound eyes reflected the cabin lights. "Make sure your, what do you call it, magazine, is fully loaded with your little metal pellets." Laughter rippled through the squad. Riley looked up from inspecting her modified M4 carbine, her expression calm. "It's called ammunition," she said evenly. "And yes, it's loaded." Zorak, the hulking Kryn heavy weapons specialist, hefted his plasma cannon with one massive arm. "Primitive," he rumbled, his tusks gleaming. "You carry spare magazines because your weapon empties. Our blasters draw from portable fusion cells, hundreds of shots before recharge." "And when you pull that trigger," added Silva, the serpentine pilot, "you launch crude metal. We fire coherent plasma at near-light speed, precision, power, evolution." Riley took the weapon in her hands again, running her fingers along the barrel. 3 years in coalition, special forces hadn't spared her from the mockery. Humans were newcomers, primitives who had barely achieved FTL travel when the coalition found them. "At least it's reliable," Riley muttered. "Reliable?" Kathax's mandibles clicked in amusement. "My blaster has no moving parts. Yours is a museum piece, springs, firing pins, mechanical chaos. 1 grain of sand and it jams." "Actually," Riley started, but the ship's AI interrupted. "Approaching target, hostile territory in 90 seconds. The mockery ceased instantly. Commander Vexrel, the three-eyed Fothan, stood from his harness. "Mission parameters: eliminate the Void Reaver's forward operating base. Intelligence suggests 20 to 30 hostiles. Remember your training. Strike fast, strike clean." The dropship shuddered as it entered the planet's atmosphere. Riley felt her stomach drop as they descended toward the rust-colored wasteland below. They hit the ground in a defensive perimeter, weapons raised. The Reaver base sprawled before them, a collection of prefab structures surrounding a central communications tower. Riley moved with the squad, her boots crunching on brittle soil. "Contact!" shouted Zorak. Reavers poured from the structures, humanoids in black armor, weapons blazing. The squad returned fire. Brilliant blue bolts from the aliens' blasters carved through the air, dropping targets with ruthless efficiency. Then Riley heard it, a high-pitched whine that made her teeth ache. "What is that?" Kathax shouted. The whine peaked. Every blaster in the squad died simultaneously, their power cells flickering and going dark. "Dampening field." Vexrel's 3 eyes widened in shock. "They have a quantum dampening field. All energy weapons are dead." The Reavers advanced, their own weapons, slug throwers like Riley's, barking lead death. "Fall back," Vexrel ordered, "back to the ship." The squad scrambled for cover behind a rocky outcropping. Silva took a round to the shoulder, green blood spraying. Zorak pulled her to safety, his plasma cannon now a useless metal club. "We're pinned," Kathax's voice carried pure panic. "Our weapons are worthless." Riley felt strangely calm. She pressed herself against the rock, chambered around, and leaned out. The familiar crack of her rifle split the air. One Reaver dropped, another fell. She fired again. "Stone," Vexrel stared at her. "Your weapon still functions." "No electronics," Riley said, dropping an empty magazine and slamming in a fresh one. "Just physics and chemistry." She provided covering fire as the squad retreated. The Reavers advanced, confident in their dampening field. But that confidence made them careless. Riley picked her shots, controlled bursts, aiming for center mass. Her weapon kicked against her shoulder with each pull of the trigger, hot brass casings tinkling on the rocks. "The tower," Vexrel pointed. "The dampener must be in the central tower if we can destroy it." "On it," Riley said. She switched to semi-automatic, aimed carefully at the tower's base where she could see the telltale glow of a power generator. 3 shots. 4. 5. The generator exploded in a shower of sparks. The dampening field died. Immediately, the aliens' weapons hummed back to life. Blue plasma bolts filled the air. The tide turned instantly. The Reavers, caught in the open, were cut down by the squad's superior firepower. Silence fell over the battlefield, broken only by the crackle of fires. On the flight back, the atmosphere in the dropship had changed. The aliens sat quietly, stealing glances at Riley as she cleaned her rifle with practiced efficiency. Finally, Kathax spoke. "Your weapon, it requires no power source." "Just the propellant in each round," Riley said, running a cloth down the barrel. "Gunpowder. Burns, creates expanding gas, drives the bullet." "Simple," Zorak said, but there was no mockery in his voice now. "Elegant." "And the dampening field couldn't affect it because—" Silva trailed off, her wound bandaged. "Because it's mechanical, chemical," Riley said. "No quantum signatures to disrupt, no energy fields to dampen, just controlled explosions and Newton's laws." Vexrel leaned forward. "We've grown dependent on our technology. We assumed energy weapons were superior in every way." "They are," Riley admitted. "In most situations. More shots, less weight, better accuracy over distance. But they have vulnerabilities. A sophisticated enemy can counter them." Kathax's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. "And your weapon, even if the firing mechanism fails, you can often fix it in the field." "Yes." Riley nodded. "It's repairable. All the parts are physical. You can see them, touch them, understand how they work." "We underestimated you," Vexrel said quietly. "We underestimated your people." Riley smiled slightly. "Humans have been killing each other for thousands of years. We've gotten pretty good at it. Maybe that's not something to be proud of, but it means we understand redundancy, backup systems, having a tool that works even when everything else fails." Zorak laughed, a deep rumbling sound. "Remind me never to invade Earth." "When we return to base," Vexrel said, "I'm recommending that all coalition strike teams carry at least one ballistic weapon operator. Your primitive technology saved all our lives today." Riley finished assembling her rifle and locked the bolt forward with a satisfying click. Sometimes the old ways survive for a reason. The dropship hummed on through the stars, carrying 7 aliens who'd learned an important lesson: that in war, simplicity could be the ultimate sophistication. And one human who'd proven that humanity, primitive or not, had earned its place among the stars.